Hey everyone, just wanted to have a quick update. Probably won't be doing a video this week. I was planning on doing the next installment of the SBC 100 Ghetto Blaster conversion, but I've had some issues with my car. I went up north yesterday, it was a Sunday, couple hours drive north to go check out a truck, looking at doing a deal with one of my second-hand cabinets on this truck to fix up, either use with a business or on the farm or sell it, I'm not sure yet. But and car started running rough up there, and then by the time I got back it was hardly idling, so sorry about that. I'll just switch this around. The car is a 2007 Audi 1.8 turbo A4, and I've been looking at a whole bunch of videos on these. Now I recently did the coil packs. I had some issues with the coil packs, and so I knew what a coil pack miss was like, and this is completely different. So I'm just going to start it up and show you. So it's ratting, banging, making all sorts of horrible noises. Now these valves here can quite often cause some problems. This sort of miss is quite often caused by a vacuum leak. And I just did a smoke test on it before, and nothing was obvious. There was a slight leak in here, so this will need to be replaced, but I've just temporarily sealed that up, and we still obviously have this issue. Now there's another valve underneath the manifold here that you'll see on plenty of videos, and if I just squeeze that there, see, it comes right. So that's the bottom hose there. It actually fits through, it comes out, if you follow this hose there, comes back down underneath the manifold. You can see just where it joins, I don't know if I'm going to see through here, just where it joins there's another valve that fits in there as well. So just by squeezing that with my fingers, see, it just about died when I let it go. So here we go, it's got that miss. Let's try and show you a little better, squeeze it off. So that's a nice easy way to diagnose whether or not that valve is causing your problems. So that's taken all morning for me to get sorted. I did used to be a mechanic, but it's been a few years, so just getting back into the swing of things. It took me a little while to get my head around some stuff. I did throw the V-Gate scan tool on there, threw a few codes, misfire on 1 through 4, and bank 1 lean. So ran that through. I was looking for a leak. I did the smoke test on it, and because I found the leak on this part here, I assumed that was the problem, and I fixed that leak just to test to see whether that was an issue. I do plan on replacing it, but as soon as I started it back up, sounded good. I waited for it to run through its process. Usually after it had come off the cold start, it'd start doing it again. So I knew there was another valve under there. I tracked that hose down, and then just by pinching it off, it automatically fixed the idling issues. So just a nice easy way to diagnose quickly whether that's your problem. You don't need any tools. You don't have to move anything. You can literally just reach in and pinch off a hose with your fingers, and that will tell you whether or not that lower valve is the problem. Quite often you'll find yourself running around trying to find all sorts of issues with these. So they don't always come up on the scan tool, but just going back off these sorts of things that I learned from the older mechanics is usually a nice, quick, easy way to figure out whether or not something is causing you a problem, and that's just one of them that I've worked out today. So like I say, may still be able to get a video out later this week, but I've got so much on, and then when these sorts of things start causing me issues, also got my van up there, is clogged the radiator up or something, I'm not sure. I'll have to pull it apart and check it, but that's starting to cause some overheating issues, so I'll need to address that as well. So just little things like that getting in my way this week, but I am still planning on trying to get a video out as soon as possible. So if it's not this week, maybe early next week, maybe over the weekend. And I just want to spend a little bit more time with that other cabinet. I've shown it is possible to do, but I also want to make it a little bit nicer to work with. as it is, if you were just, apologise for the helicopter going over, as it is, if you just to do a little bit here and there, it's not that big a deal, but also you kind of want to get the best experience you can out of it, and if it is going to be a viable alternative to building the more expensive cabinets, then I do want it to be something that you can actually work with and not get annoyed by every time you're in there. So just that quick update. Now I've got to go and try and track down one of those valves to replace that with, and I've also got to go another radiator for the van, so it's going to be an expensive week. But other than that, it's about all I've got for the moment, and I'll come back in as soon as possible, hopefully before mid next week, and just do the next update video. So that will have you filled in for now. Thanks for watching. So just quickly, this is going to seem like a bit of a weird place to have a cut, but I went through the footage that I just took and realized it wasn't really clear enough, and I wanted just to shore that up. So on the, I think this is the B7 model, 2007, on this model, the hose that you're looking for, if you look down just behind the throttle here, on the side of the manifold there's two hoses. Now it's the bottom one there, and if you want to check, you can go down, can't really see through there, kind of where my fingers are pointing. You can see my thumb quite well, but right up here where my finger is, it's not focusing very well. But you'll see there's like a big hose and it goes into a small hose. But if you undo one of those hose clamps and you undo and pull it out, there'll be a little valve on the inside of it, a PCV valve. So, but in order to diagnose it, just that bottom hose there, as you can see again, there's two hoses coming off. The one closest to the throttle runs underneath. If you just give that a good strong pinch, and if the idle comes right after doing that, that'll be the same way that I have done in this demonstration, and that's to check the lower PCV valve. So there's more in the circuit, and you may have seen other videos where you can check just by pulling off the oil cap, and if you can hear it sucking, what's going on there is the PCV valves aren't blocking it up and it's pulling the crankcase into a vacuum. So if it's sucking really hard, that's a good identifier of one of the valves in the circuit causing issues. But the easy way to diagnose whether or not it's the bottom one, like I showed, is just to pinch that off. So I'll cut this in. It'll seem like a weird cut, and it might be a little bit disjuncted now, so I just thought I'd throw that in there just to make it a little more clear for everyone.